Welcome back, everybody. It's the Relationship Gumbo Podcast. It's another Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We're here every single week, same time, same place. And I welcome you. When you come in, make sure you share and invite this with your friends and family. And we're going to have a good show tonight. We're going to talk about nice guys finishing last. We're going to talk about good women and why so many good women are still out here trying to figure it out. And we're also going to talk about the friend zone. A lot of people have been trapped in that cage. So what I'm going to do when you come in, let me know that you're here. Share and invite with your friends and family. Once again, this is going to be a good show. If you have any people in your life or yourself that's single, dating, trying to figure it out, making all the bad decisions, this is going to be the show for you. So make sure you share this out. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take about 30 seconds to make sure that everything is going where it's supposed to go on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope at the same time. So give me 30 seconds and I'll be right back.
Okay, everybody wants good love, that's true, I know. Derek Jones about to break it down with the Relationship Gumbo. Welcome to the podcast. Ain't no doubt we all need this, ayy, cause better relationships need better ingredients, ayy. So if you want better relations, it's about communication, finding love, staying together. We all wanna make it better, yeah. Derek Jones, the host, your relationship coach. Thank you all for tuning in. Relationship Gumbo, ayy.
Again, I say welcome, everyone. Make sure you share and invite this on your timeline. And you are, it's going to be a good show. Share and invite. Once again, I keep saying that because it's very necessary. This is how you pay me. Share and invite. So what's going to happen tonight is we're going to do a live podcast. We're going to talk about, being in the friend zone. We're going to talk about nice guys finishing last. We're going to talk about good women. And why good women sometimes they, will say they feel like they finished last too, right? So this is a live podcast recording. So the way that this works, if you're new, I'm going to pause for 3 seconds. We're going to intro the podcast. Then after the podcast, we're going to pause for another 3 seconds. And then after that, if you have any additional questions, we'll answer them then. When we are live, I want you to comment. I want you to ask questions. And if they're pertinent, I'll address them during the live show. So without further ado, here we go. And welcome to another episode of the Relationship Gumbo Podcast. My name is Derek Jones, and I'm your host. I'm a certified life coach, an engineer, a strategist, and a mental health advocate. And by the way, guys, this month is Minority Mental Health Month. So make sure that you check on your folks, check on your strong friends, check on your weak friends, check on everybody, make sure everybody's good. And most importantly, check on yourself. And if you need any assistance or help or any of that stuff, please don't ever hesitate to talk to someone, bring it to someone's attention, seek help through a counselor, a therapist, a coach. And just, you got to really take care of yourself. You got to put yourself on the roster. You can't, put so many people in front of you that you forget about yourself. It's a bad place to be. So tonight's episode, nice guys, good women, and friend zones. You're going to understand what we're talking about, all of those things, but I have a special guest tonight. She's someone that I co-hosted on another show / podcast before. I value her opinion, and she keeps it real. She lets you know, what her life experience is, and I value what she has to say. So I brought her on. So we're going to bring her up right now, Miss Alexis Green. So we can bring her up and make sure she's unmuted.
Hi guys.
Welcome, Lex. How you been? How's it going? How you dealing with all this stuff going on out here?
Coach, I'm surviving. I'm in the house doing a bunch of DIY projects and cooking, which I'm sure my son benefits from that because he'll stop over. Mom, what you make today? So I'm Chef Lex. I'm doing home interior, everything. Trying to keep my head.
You doing any YouTube University?
No, I ain't messing with folks too much. That's like work.
Yeah, it is. So what we gonna do? We just gonna get right into it, right? This tonight. I wanted to bring these topics because this is something that we all hear. These 3 different topics we hear all the time. We don't delve into them too deep. We just deal with how it feels. So, and I would say I couldn't be the good woman, but I've been the other 2 at some point in my life. So I know how it feels. So we're going to get right into it. So the first topic we're going to touch is nice guys.
Ooh.
So nice guys. So the age old saying is nice guys finish last. Do you believe that?
I do. I
Uh-oh.
do.
Tell me
I
why.
do. I mean, we as women, we always go after the bad boys, right? For
Mhm.
us, the nice guys, they seem too needy, we think they're too needy if they're being too nice, right? So if we're beautiful women, all women are beautiful, so they're after us like, okay, she's a beautiful woman, she can talk to anybody she want, but she's talking to me. So it's like we're their trophy, right? But when we do give them time, they are like bringing out all the stops. They're giving us, buying us this, taking us these nice places. Not saying there's nothing wrong with a little wine and dine,
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to see where the problem is. Keep
but
going.
but it's some women find it like, okay, he's a little too needy. It sometimes can come off a little fatal attraction a little bit for
Mm.
us. So it's like in our mind, we'll go for the bad boys, the ones that don't have time for us, the ones that dog us, the ones that don't return our calls, the ones that stands us up because we feel like okay, they're very confident and they're very important. They're important, so that's why we can't reach them because they just have so much going on. So when they do call us, when they do have time for us, we're like, oh, I'm special. He's thinking about me tonight. When in reality, you shouldn't get putting all your time in that man if he not putting all his time in you. So the good guys, you can benefit because there's some guys that I've dated that were good guys and I've dated the bad guys. And honestly, I'd be like, dang, what if I would have ended up with such and such and such? He was so nice. He know how to treat me. And now such and such is with his beautiful family, his nice big house, and having anniversary getaways with his wife. So yeah.
All right, so
Sorry, women.
let's unpack this real quick.
It was
Because I always look at things in layers, right? So the good guy, I think sometimes women equate good with weak. I think a lot of times women equate good with not having a backbone. You're looking for the traditional alpha male. A lot of women, not all, because I'm gonna say that because I don't want nobody coming for me in the comments. Not all, but a lot of women will claim that they want an alpha male. But a lot of times when you get a super testosterone alpha male, it's a lot of stuff that comes with that, and you got to be willing to deal with it, right? And that age old saying, "You can't handle me," and all of that, right? So now the good guy feel left out. And a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience, because I had to go through to realize who I was and who I needed to be on the other side of it. And a lot of times when I was what you would qualify as a good guy, I was kind of passive. I was kind of whatever you want me to do. And what I realized was that wasn't what they wanted from me. But what I found in practice is a lot of women who date the bad boy, even when they try to go the other direction and date a different type of guy, they feel still like something's missing, and then they end up messing it up. And and so this is what this is a couple of things that I realized in my travels and in talking to a lot of people with the whole coaching and all of that. There are some good guys who aren't passive, but a lot of times they get pushed to the side because the assumption that niceness means weak, right? And so you never really get to the meat. There are some men out here that are really nice and they have some edge to them, right? That's the unicorn, right? You got a little bit of both for a little bit of both. You got a nice guy and you got a corporate thug, right? A lot of women would love to have a little bit of both. You want somebody that's going to keep your attention, but you also want them to treat you good and be whatever, right? So in nature, that recipe isn't always going to be perfect And so a lot of times the guy who feels like all I need to do is be good to her and be nice and treat her well and do everything, that guy is thinking, hey, I'm doing what I think women are supposed to want. What the hell is wrong with me? And then they go into a depression because they like, well, I don't want to be the bad guy because that's not my character. So I'm in this whole box over here. But the other thing, just to kind of wrap this up before I ask you another question, what I also realized is women, not all women, but women that will say that they want a good, nice guy, and the nice guys be out there. But that's not who they want. They want their type of guy to be nice to them. Get it? So like if you want the guy that's 6'4" and the nice teeth and all of that, you want him to be nice to you. You don't want the nice guy that you're not necessarily feeling, and he may do everything for you. You want this guy, the other guy, that he may looks like a bad boy, but I want him to be the nice guy. So the other dude over here that's doing all this stuff, he may not be 6'4", he may be 5'9", right? But he's doing everything for you. I'm gonna talk about something else that drives me nuts in a second. But when you have those qualifiers, that nice guy will always finish last. Because you'll never even entertain him no matter what he does, because he's not the image of what you feel like you want. And so it's disheartening, it's hurtful, because the language is, I just wish I could find me a nice guy to treat me good. That's not really what you want. You want a nice guy to treat you good and be 6'4" and have all of this, and he got to be, a certain skin tone and
attraction.
How? How does that work? Well, now you got a bunch of, and we're gonna go in a minute. We're gonna go to the next topic, but the other thing is, like, a lot of times women like have these qualifiers. Men do too. Don't get it twisted. We in the Instagram model age, so everybody got all of these. She got to have a certain shape and all that. One of the things that, and I'm not a short guy, right? But a woman could be 5'4", and she'll say, "I will not date a guy under 6'4". And if you be like 6'1", you like, nah, he ain't taller. I'm like, you're 5'4". I don't like these qualifiers. So I got a couple comments. So Dan Gorman in Facebook says, but nice guys have a type too. That's true. That's very true. And the thing is that when a nice guy goes for what he thinks is his type, those normally be the ones that they curbing those guys. And I'm like, how do you like? My thing is, as the relationship coach, I be trying to figure out how to make the puzzle pieces match, but it's like it goes like this. And how do you? So Alicia from Facebook says that was me. He had to be over 6 feet, and yes, I'm 5'4". I never. Like, the thing that I used to always wonder was, if you're 5'4" and the guy's 6 foot and he has the good job and he has all the other qualifiers, you just gonna throw him out the door for a couple inches. That just drives me. Oh, I don't.
No. You gotta be taller than me.
You know I'm right.
You gotta be taller than me. Taller than me with my heels on, because I'm 5'4". So with my heels, I'm like 5'8". All depends. So you have to be taller than 5'8" for me.
I get that. So what if it's 5'9"?
Okay.
I just want to make sure. I want to make sure how hard your rules were.
No, don't be taller than me.
So on this topic, just to kind of get it to a certain point, what I want to repeat is when a woman says she wants a nice guy, you really got to qualify what that really means, because you really don't just mean that the nice guy. You're gonna curb most nice guys. So as a former, what you described nice guy, how I used to be, it hurt. Because no, seriously, it hurt. Like it hurt because on the surface, normally people who are like that are passive and they just want to do, like, they really sit back and listen to y'all. And well, I can't, I'm not like that anymore, but we sit back and we listen to y'all. I want a guy that has a nice job. I want somebody that's family oriented. And they be coming to the table like, me. And you be like, but you ain't 6'4" though. And I'm like, stop it. So it's just hard. It's hard. It's hard out here. It's already hard to be single out here right now. Number one.
Mhm.
Number two, you got to go through all of these hoops, and you on paper, like, and that's, we put aside chemistry and everything else that has to be present, but the things that you ask for, they be looking you right in the face, and you be like, yeah, he all right, but I'm gonna probably run. Like, I'm gonna speak for you. I'm gonna run all over him. That sounds like you, don't it? So it's hard though, and I wanted to bring this topic up because I think we both, men and women, do damage to each other by how we treat other people, by the words we say, and this is me speaking from experience. Those little bits of what we don't even realize, those little bits of trauma, they then inform who we become the next time and the next time and the next time. And so when you have someone that you invite into your personal space and you let him stay there for a while, but you know he ain't, and he's doing the most, and I'm only like, I know it happens to women too, okay? But I'm a man talking. When you're doing the most for that woman and she's accepting it up front, but a lot of times, and this is my experience, I know this to be true, that woman will sit in there and be happy that she's getting treated like that. But then there comes that point where you're like, but it ain't, it's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not that.
Because I'm gonna tell you, this is what I always used to tell people, way back in the day.
Make sure you clarify that.
I used to call myself the science experiment guy. And the reason why is because I was always the guy that you would date when you got tired of getting treated like crap from this other type of guy, but I might not necessarily have been your type, but you want to try something different. It's still not good. It's still not good because now I feel like I'm getting the woman of my dreams.
But
and you like, I'm just gonna try something different. He's nice. He's doing everything I want him to do. But ultimately, you still got that thing that's like, yeah, this is not. I need to go back over there and get treated like crap again because this ain't.
He's just.
So then you take, huh?
He's too nice.
Yes. Oh my God. That's the story of my life. And then I realized most women, like I said before, they want a hybrid. They want a little bit of nice with a little bit of edge, but then you not only have to be a little bit of both, you got to know which part to bring out when.
Yes.
Is it? And so when I learned that, then I had then how I approached and did things was a little different because then it became more about me learning you and figuring out like, okay, she likes a little bit of aggression, but not when she's feeling like this. It's like it's like a chess match you got to play.
Game. It's really a game.
It is. It's crazy. And so when you think about just that, like we just been talking about this for a few minutes, that's a lot of brain power. You got to try to figure, like you're trying to figure out like, okay, I like it, but he ain't, and I don't. Well, now let me just go on date number 5 with him and see.
This is why a lot of us are just single.
So we gonna jump off of this. We're gonna jump into the next topic, which is good women. So, and I'm gonna let you lead the charge on a lot of this. There's a lot of women out here that claim that they're a good woman. And it's impossible for them to find someone because everybody just ain't ish. So I'm just gonna do me because I'm a good woman and they don't deserve me and blah blah blah. But I feel like there's got to be a little piece missing. Like if you, huh?
In the good woman?
Yeah, not all though.
Mhm.
Okay, I feel like there's a piece missing. Like being by yourself is the holy grail. Like learn yourself, figure it out, and hopefully fate will happen and whatever the stars will align.
Mhm.
But when you're a good woman, but you keep saying, dang, I keep meeting the same type of guy, there's a piece missing because you're chasing the same dysfunctional thing every time. So when you say good, you're good, but you got some trauma with you. You got some damage,
Mhm.
and you can't go out there pretending that that's not there.
Mhm.
Like I'm perfect on paper and I'm a good woman and nobody's checking for me. I've in my coaching journey, I've had people say, I've done it all. I'm a good woman. I got a good job. When I go places, I be sitting there, I be trying to flirt with people and they just don't. Why won't anybody choose me? What's
Mhm.
wrong with me? You ever felt like that or heard that from your friends?
All the above, but I speak,
Talk to me about that.
only could speak of about myself.
Uh-huh.
It was this one guy I was dating. He told me that he could never be serious with me because I was too high maintenance or
Mm.
too um I was too confident. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And when I look at him today and see that the type of girls that he's dating or the one that he's engaged to, that person is very passive in a sense, laid back, you
Mm-hmm.
know, not really into like makeup, you know, not into hair, not into their appearance, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I asked him before. We're friends now, but I asked him before, and I'm like, were you intimidated by me? And he said, yeah. He said, I felt that I will probably have to. Guys could be looking at you. I'll get upset. I think you would probably require a lot of financial attention. I'm like, well, I never asked you for any money.
Mm.
Keep up this appearance or just to keep up myself.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's just, you may want to go on this very expensive trip for 7 days, where for me, a couple of hours on a road trip is, suffice for me. And I'm like, well, you never tried that with me. So you don't
Yeah.
know, you know. But I do get a lot of guys that they say they don't approach me because they are very intimidated. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I feel like that's their issue because when
Mm-hmm.
you get to know me, I'm laid back. You could take me around anyone. I can roll with the corporate America and I can hang out with the folks in the hood. I like nice things, but I haven't always had nice things.
Right.
So but a lot of guys say that they are intimidated by me. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, that's your fault. But
So
then,
let me expound on that a little bit.
okay, okay,
So
okay, coach.
I'm gonna tell you the why. So and once again, ladies and gentlemen, I talk to a lot of people, but a lot of the things that I've gone through in my life, I've touched on probably 99% of these topics before personally. So I'm gonna tell you why this happens. Most men
Mm-hmm.
by nature, well, I don't want to go down the list of because we got to qualify heterosexual men that look. I don't want to do that, but most men want to feel needed,
Okay.
and a lot of times we look at that financially, right? So let's say I meet you one day, right, and I'm not saying that this is okay. I'm saying that this is kind of how our DNA is built. So let's say you got it going on, right? You look good, you got a nice car, you got a nice place. I may not have that. So now when I meet you, in my head, I'm going to paint a picture that says she don't need me.
Oh.
I can't take care of her. She's going to look at me as lesser. I'm painting this picture in my head,
Mm-hmm.
right? What if something happens? Will I be able to take care of her financially
Mm-hmm.
based on her lifestyle? And if I know I'm only making a certain amount, the answer is going to be no. in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So now you thinking he's a good guy. This could work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking she won't need me at some point. And when we feel like we're inadequate in that way, now we got to think about, what if a man comes along that can take care of her? Would she rather choose him over me because of that? We think about things very black and white. Money is big with us, right?
Okay.
Being able to take care of the family. That's why a lot of men take so long, like a marriage-minded man, a lot of times they take so long to propose because they feel like they got to be at a certain point to take care of you first.
Okay.
And then we can go do that. The problem with that is they always going to find the goalpost keeps moving and it's 10 years later, but that's a whole nother show. But that's we calculate all of that in our head. Like, is she gonna is at one point is she gonna feel like I'm inadequate? And we put ourselves in that space, and then we will end up self-sabotaging
Yes,
the
that's
relationship. Because if I keep saying it, you're gonna think I'm weak. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, why does he keep saying that?
You know my quote.
Yeah. So it just it whatever you like, they always say, whatever you believe is true, right? So if I believe I'm inadequate, I'm going to be inadequate. But then there are those of us that have, that don't care. Like, we just want to be with you and we're going to deal with it. Like, even like with me, I look at it as, if we together and we end up getting married or whatever, it's going in the same pot. I don't look at that.
Exactly.
It's about respect, right? Because there's a lot of us that have taken that leap to be with someone that makes more, and then that person would rub it in your face and let you know, I make more, and then that kind of emasculates the man, and now he's just like, see. So then when he goes into the next relationship,
he's gonna be looking for,
to your point, he's gonna look for the opposite. He's gonna look for a person that, because I did this, I looked for a person that needed me for everything. And that made me in the moment feel necessary.
But in
the end, I didn't choose her based on compatibility. I just wanted her to not be like the person that emasculated me. That was the only qualifier. And once I did that, it was cool because it's an adrenaline rush. Like, yes, I'm finally getting that piece. But you never took the time to grow it. And so when you take a good woman, quote unquote, who has it going on, maybe intimidating to some men, certain types of men, what I hear a lot online and just talking to people is they find it hard to meet men because they feel like they intimidate everybody. But then when you go down the list of the dudes that they're choosing, it's not, and I'm like, that's why. Like, you're choosing the bottom of, like, to the point from the original topic was, if you're looking for the bad boy and the sometimes that doesn't come with a lot of perks. And so if you keep pulling from that pot,
you're gonna get that
same results every time. And it's like, every man I've ever approached, or not approached, but every man they're just all intimidated. Not every man not intimidated by you. It's the man you're choosing. Because there's something out here that's built for you. You keep going to, because that's what I'm attracted to. I don't know if I could deal with a different other type of guy. There's some wires being crossed. So you're going to be single for the rest of your life then, if you keep pulling from that. The only way really around that, just on some human behavior stuff, is you're going to really have to do some soul searching about who you are and what you really need. And then once you change, then your perception of the people that you meet will change. If you haven't grown from, being 15 years old, looking for the dude with the accurate legend and whatever else, then you're gonna keep getting the same results. And then what happens is, this is what you speak into the universe as a woman. They all intimidated by me. Right. They all ain't no good. All these men, they're no good. I'm gonna just be by myself. Well, guess what you just did? You're manifesting your destiny by saying that.
Yep.
You're saying that you're speaking it into existence. And when you do that, don't be surprised when the person that you're trying to run from keeps coming to you. And guess what you do? Like a dummy, you let them in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Let's
So
talk about this.
yeah, it doesn't make sense. So it's really about um assessing your decisions.
Mhm.
Very few of us do it because we run on emotions. I'm by
Yeah.
myself. I've been, alone or lonely for a long time, and I just want, I want somebody to hug me. I want to be with. I want to go out on some dates, and then you pick based on that instead of looking at the last 10 knuckleheads and
That
say,
you.
God, 10 knuckleheads in a row.
Mhm.
Instead of saying they're all bad, you have to say, why am I picking them? And once you get to the why am I picking them, it may be something from your childhood. It may
Yeah.
be some trauma from your
Yeah.
parents that's
So true.
making you pick your daddy, and when you get down to the bottom of the why, then you can start to heal. And sometimes that means you got to find a third party to help you figure that out.
Mhm.
That's why I do what I do. I like to put the puzzle pieces together because a lot of us think we can will it into existence. I'm just one day I'm gonna find me a good man. No, you gotta figure out who you are first. Because if you don't know who you are and you just filling it in, eventually you're not gonna be happy.
Right.
And that's what I always try to preach on this show. If you go into a relationship pretending to be something you're not, eventually you're gonna be miserable. You just don't see it up front because it feel good. Y'all going to the Cheesecake Factory, y'all going walking around the lake and all that's cute. A year later, you like, wait, this isn't even really my type. But we been together. We together though.
I think it's also no one wants to be alone, so they
You're right.
settle
You're
for
right. You're
they
right.
settle for the BS.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we shouldn't settle for the people for anything, for people mistreating us, for the narcissist behavior. Like we shouldn't settle for that.
Yeah.
So my motto is if I can't be happy, I'd rather be by myself than being
Yeah.
with someone
Yeah.
that disrespects me or, don't treat me. Honestly, I think I'm at the age now to where if there's some type of attraction, again, you got to be taller than me, but I kind of been lenient on my little checklist.
Mhm.
But if you can hold my attention, you can make me smile and you respect me, then we got something going. We
Yeah.
got something,
And
it.
that's really what it is. It's and now I had to do a whole nother show on stating your intentions up front because that's something that one little thing can make or break how you end up being with somebody. And
because there are some people that want to date, they'll date forever. They don't want any ties. They don't want, to collaborate on anything. They just want to, let's just date forever because they don't want to commingle anything.
Yep.
And that's fine. You just have to let that person that you're dating
Don't pop it up on them 2 years later.
And then especially women, we have to stop saying, well, we're good with it. In reality, we're not.
Bingo. Oh my gosh. I felt that in my chest.
So we can't say, well, we're good. I'm good. And in the back of your mind, every time an argument or something comes up, you bring this up or you're like, it's like, no, sis, you can't.
Yep.
If you're not good with it, don't be. But I always say I'm dating with a purpose. So if I'm upfront with you, I expect for you to be upfront with me, and not for the moment. Just I'll do whatever. I'm down with it, and then later on.
Yeah, that's something that happens more often than not, and both sides kind of have their own part to play in this. Mm-hmm. But if you know that you want to be in a long-term relationship and you meet a man that says I'm not ready and I don't know if I ever will be, don't pretend like you cool with that and then go home and cry in the closet. I wish I did have a long. No, you just now you're gonna hurt yourself. And you're going to repeat that cycle every time because when you leave that one, you're going to be needy for it again. And you're going to keep doing it over and over again. And you're going to be like, and then it's going to come a point where you be like, well, I don't want to be with nobody. That's a lie too.
Right.
Stop lying to yourself. And if being by yourself is the solution today, own that. Get you a Netflix account and do what you got to do. Sit at home, whatever. watch Lifetime Movie Network or whatever you got to do. Figure out, start a business, do something you always wanted to do. Stop worrying about all of that.
And that I will say, just speaking to some girlfriends during this pandemic, I mean, a lot of my girlfriends are finding themselves. There's some are single, some are in relationships. But even the ones that are in a relationship, they're learning their partners.
Mhm.
They're learning themselves. They're learning, how to, how to like commingle in the sense of them. Okay, they're used to being at work 8 or 9 hours a day, but now they're it's like reverse. I'm with my partner 9 hours a day, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh God, I didn't know I had to deal with this, or oh my gosh, my husband is so amazing,
Yeah.
So they're starting their own businesses, so shoot, I'm doing DIYs that I never thought I could do. So
Right.
you,
Yeah, I
you
have a couple of projects I'm gonna hit you up for. But anyway, no, but just to kind of put a cap on this particular one, this topic. When we say, like, for me, when I say good woman, when I talk to this about people, don't put that good woman badge on yourself and then become the opposite of that because you salty or you bitter or the last 10 men didn't work that you tried to date. It's in life, it's a numbers game. But what you can do to help that out is if you learn who you are, what you want, and you love yourself, you have an ongoing love affair with you, then you start to pick better.
Yep, somebody that's going to appreciate you. Someone that's going to love you just like you love yourself. Yep.
When you lead with that energy, you attract like energy. When you lead with your trauma and your desperation, you're going to get somebody that wants to take advantage of that, because the person that likes taking advantage of traumatized women, they know how to spot it with a certainty, and it comes off your skin. No matter what you try to pretend to be, it comes through your words, it comes through your mannerisms, and they can spot it a mile away. And you're like, I wonder why they keep treating me like this. No, you're good prey. You are doing exactly what they like. And then when you step back and say, well, what am I doing? Oh, I blew his phone up after 24 hours and I was good. That's desperate behavior. He doesn't even have to chase you. Well, I thought he didn't call me. So after 3 weeks, I just kept blowing this. No, stop. That's traumatic behavior. And when you do that, that man has the choice to say, I'm not dealing with this, or he can be like, good, now I got her. Because if it's desperate, I don't have to do nothing.
You have to do anything.
So good, nice guys, good women, be that. Own it, right? Don't let somebody turn you into something that's the opposite of that because you allowed it. Be who you are and own it. If you're a nice guy, don't change into a bad guy because you feel like every woman wants a bad guy. You just got to find a woman that likes a nice guy. They out there.
Damn.
They out there. Yeah, not you. It's not you. You want to, I know what you want. You want a nice guy wrapped in a bad guy body. So anyway, we gonna go to this next topic and then we gonna get out of here. The friend zone.
Ooh.
How many people you put in the friend zone before? You'll pull out a book.
They ain't wait for my butt. They like, I'll be your friend, but I gotta keep it moving. It's quite a few. You know what? For me, I don't just put them in a friend zone because I'm not attracted to them or anything. For me, the word friends means a lot. I've had a lot of my male friends are childhood friends. Like we grew up together, we hung out, we played ball. They were my brothers. So for me, I would prefer, because I know how that person act and is. I would prefer I want to always keep them around, but I can't keep them around enough to date them because we would never be friends. So a lot of my male friends, I have to put them in the friend zone because the way their relationships and me, it would never work. We wouldn't be friends till this day because
Right.
I know how they are. So
Yeah.
that's why I put a lot of men in friend zones, because I actually cherish our friendship a whole lot better.
Right.
But a lot of people I do know put guys in friend zones because they're not attractive to them, but they want to keep them close.
Ouch.
They're not attractive, but they want to keep them close because it's a beneficial thing for them. They benefit something, so which is kind of crappy, but that's what the women do.
So Michelle Ford on Facebook says, "What's wrong with that? A good guy in a bad guy body."
Right, Michelle.
Trust me, I hear the cries. I know exactly. I know. It's just tough. Like when we talking about the friend zone, there's a lot of dudes. It's a lot of dudes that's in the friend zone out here that's waiting for you with a white van and some duct tape right now because they are mad as hell because they like, how did I get here? But I think it happens more with women to men than men to women. Mm. I believe. And once again, and a lot of nice guys end up in the friend zone because of what we said earlier about, passive and all of that. And you kind of want them to be around a little bit, but you don't want to go there. But the problem with that is a lot of dudes that's in the friend zone, they on the side, they fall in love with you on the side. Yeah, they really like pining after you. They waiting for their shot. They waiting like maybe one day.
Waiting for this guy to mess up and you feel weak and vulnerable.
Exactly. And I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I don't know. It's a tough place to be to be attracted to someone, to want them, and then still be friend zoned by them and actually have to watch them go out on dates and pretend like you cool. Oh, and so how was your date? And you sitting at home as a dude, you like, damn it, I gotta get the play by play. I don't want that. Like, it sounds like it's coming from a place, right? so it's tough. It's tough because I feel like if it's hard because there's some really good people out here and you don't want to let them go. But sometimes I think you have to, if you know that they really like pressed to like be with you, sometimes you got to be like, look, you cool, but this, I don't, even being your friend is going to be tough because I already know you like me or whatever. And I don't know if that's going to, because what happens is they'll be in the friend zone for like 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. By then they already in love with you. They just not saying it. Mm-hmm. They gonna be there for you. You crying and doing all that, and this guy treated me like this, and they're all okay. But what they don't realize is you're not attracted to them, and they'll never be the one. And so this is what happens, right? When you play this out, that friend zoned guy, that nice guy that may be in the friend zone, he's gonna turn into something evil. Behind the scenes, and you don't even realize it. And so when he goes out and tries to find somebody, his whole attitude gonna be off.
So we don't mess them up, you saying?
Huh?
We done messed them up by putting them in a friend?
Yeah. Like if you know, and that, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of women out here that have male friends. They never did anything, and they know the guy. If he had a chance, he would go there. But I get it. But there's some men out there that can't separate it like that. And you just keep, so hey, yeah, can you tell me which lingerie I should get from Victoria's Secret? I'm gonna try it on. He's like, what? We friends, right? You think how you think this outfit look for me to go on a date? And he's like, that dude is not gonna be a good boyfriend for nobody.
I don't want my friends to like me. So if my friends like me, I need for them to say, you know what, we can't be friends.
Because when you stew in it like that, it messes with your psyche a little bit. And you like, it's like it's something that you can touch, but you can't have it. And when you spend so much time stewing like that, and then let's say one day you say, look, we can't be friends. Snap. And now that guy got to go out and be somebody's man one day.
And they'll be like, so you Alexis.
Exactly. And then what happens sometimes is they're gonna take out that frustration on somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Message. That rabbit hole goes deep. People like you gotta like. So the moral to the story is there's a difference between having a platonic friend and having a guy that really wants you and put him in the friend zone. Because that guy, I don't know if you can effectively maintain that knowing that he really wants you.
Yeah.
Like he's actively falling in love with you, and you know,
Yeah.
but he show up though. He pick up little Johnny from football practice for me when I'm at work, and you know, he cool peoples, and he met my parents and all that. Yeah, that dude.
It's like, I don't know why you won't marry him or be with him.
That
He
dude.
did all of this for you.
When you cut that dude off one day because you're gonna have to, he gonna be that's it. He's a totally different animal that you don't even want no parts of that. That's why you gotta let him go early. Oh, I know you really like me. I done heard we didn't talk about. I know you. I don't think we can be friends. We gotta part ways because I don't know how this gonna end. You're a decent person. Hopefully you'll find Cinderella one day, but I can't do it. You got to do that.
Ain't it?
Because what we don't realize, and I'm gonna let you say some parting words in a minute, but what we have to realize about each other is, and I say this at the top of the show, the things we say and do affect people more than what we see on the surface. And then when you create that monster has to go out and be somebody's man. They got to be somebody's father or their mother. And it's those little things that we do that hurt that person may never tell you. Right? It's those things like for women to men, it's those things that we may say to you or you may say to us that may emasculate us or make us feel like we less than a man, and it come from the person that we rocking with, and we're like, dang. But what people don't realize is when you throw that jab to the wrong person, you then create a pattern of behavior after that moment that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
And that's why I always tell people, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know people's life experiences and their trauma. And sometimes you just got to let them go. You got to be like, look, you a cool dude, but I don't think this gonna work. And on the man side, you got to be able to say, and it's hard because, you know, we're trained hunters and we want to find whatever. You got to be able to say, this ain't gonna work. Like the man has to say that to the woman. It's hard to do, especially when you attracted to them and all that. You got to be like, look, this not gonna work. It's not gonna work because, you know, you killed your last 2 boyfriends, and I don't know if I can deal with that. So I would love to be a friend, but we can't even be that. It's like, you remember that movie with Martin Lawrence, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? She was like, I killed my husband. He's like, okay, but I'm gonna be here. When he should have been out. That's what we do because we don't want to be by ourselves. We don't want to be alone. And the thing about it is, it's okay to feel like that because we're human beings. We're meant to connect. Mm-hmm. But what my job is, and what we all should aspire to, is to try our best to make better informed decisions because we have taken time to get to know who we are.
We are. Yep.
That's the key. That's the key. What we tend to do is we tend to it's a term they call trauma bond. We bond with someone else. Like we have our trauma that we lead with, and we want to find somebody else that connects with that. And it feels good because misery loves company. And we like, oh my God, this is perfect. No, you bonded over the fact that y'all are both screwed up. Mm-hmm. And once again, it's okay to be screwed up, but you got to figure out that you are. Mm-hmm. so that you can try to work on being better. We all got stuff. We all got like your trauma doesn't even have to be the egregious stuff that we talk. Your trauma could be you got dumped by your last girlfriend because they cheated on your man, and that was your trauma. Mm-hmm. If you can't get over that, it will inform all of your decisions later on, and now you're in a cycle of hurt.
And it takes time. You know, we can't be rushing it. You guys, it takes time. You can't rush something and say, it may take a year, it may take 2 years, but it's definitely gonna take more than 6 months. It's gonna take time, so don't rush it.
So on that note, we're gonna wrap this up. We didn't held everybody hostage for a while here, but this was a good conversation. Is there any parting words you want to say before we get out of here?
No, thanks for having me. I love these topics. Like I said, men and women, respect. Make sure whatever relationship that you're in, whether it's a friend zone or good girl, good guy, always demand respect. And if you do not get respect, it's time to exit. So because all relationships should be healthy. Whether you are in a relationship with someone as trying to be a husband or wife, good girlfriends or man friends or etc., all relationships should be healthy.
Yep. Cool. That was an amazing outro for you right there. So sit tight real quick. Everybody, the podcast portion, we're going to wrap that up. Make sure you go to www.relationshipgumbo.net and you can see all the services I offer. You can see the podcast, right? Just search for Relationship Gumbo Podcast on all your podcasting platforms. I'm there. I'm everywhere. You can go to Alexa and say, Alexa, play podcast Relationship Gumbo, and the thing come right up on your Fire Stick and everything else. So I'm literally everywhere. So go ahead and check that out. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And this concludes the podcast portion. Have a great night.
Good night.
All right, guys, we are off the podcast portion. Anybody have any last words in the comments? If not, we're going to get out of here. I see, Michelle Ford says they're not going to tell you, Lexi, because they still want a part in your life. Yeah. Yeah. The people hibernate.
The benefit.
They wait for their chance to pounce. And sometimes they get it, though. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thank you again. Thank you, everybody in the comments. Make sure you share and invite. And we'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. That's it. Have a great day.
Okay, everybody wants good love, that's true, I know. Derrick Jones about to break it down with the relationship gumbo. Welcome to the podcast. Ain't no doubt we all need this, ayy, cause better relationships need better ingredients, ayy. So if you want better relations, it's about communication, finding love, staying together. We all wanna make it better, yeah. Derrick Jones, the host, your relationship coach. Thank you all for tuning in. Relationship gumbo.